So what's going to happen? 2 minutes, right? Nothing crazy. 2 minutes in the penalty box for me, and you're going to hear from Dennis on something Canes that I am not privy to. And then once my 2 minutes is up, I'm coming flying out, ready to make a play.
Yeah,
but
straight to the bench.
Straight, yeah. Let's be real. Just getting right across the ice. But for now, I'm hitting the penalty box. So I'll argue with the ref a little bit on the way in, and then we'll be away with it.
2 minutes.
Oh, come on.
All right, 2 minutes. A lot of people are having the conversation right now. All right, what's the next move for the Carolina Hurricanes? With the moves that they made with Dmitry Orlov and Tony DeAngelo on defense, they have a backlog on defense. What's the biggest trade chip that you have right now? It is Brett Pesce. Now, if you can't work out a long-term contract with Brett Pesce and his representation, he did get new agents this offseason, then you know what? It is a good idea to move him right now because you definitely need help up front. You need more scoring. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, I think this comes via trade. And the way we know Don Waddell works, they want to get a trade more than just for a year. They want something with long-term and a good young player. Here's a trade I propose. Go to Minnesota and ask for Joel Eriksson Ek. Joel Eriksson Ek is a center, has 6 years left on his deal, making $5.25 million, just 26 years old. Imagine the next 6 years where we have Sebastian Aho and Joel Eriksson Ek, and then for the next 4 years with Jordan Staal and with Jesperi Kotkaniemi running down the middle. No one else can top that in the NHL. He had 23 goals and 38 assists in 78 games last year. His point production continues to go up season after season. So here's the trade proposal. If they're going to give up a young guy, 26 years old, that's getting better in Joel Eriksson Ek, who's a top 2 center, if you're going to take him, or if you're going to give him up, you need to get something in return. Brett Pesce, Martin Necas. You send the two of them along with the Philadelphia Flyers second-round pick. You get Eriksson Ek and another pick in return. That way the salary cap stuff does work out. So that is the trade I think that the Carolina Hurricanes should pursue because guess what? Now you can really load up your top 6. You still have that line with Jordan Staal, Jesper Fast, Jordan Martinook on the bottom 6, and then you have Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Stefan Nason, Jack Drury down there as well. That is the trade I think the Carolina Hurricanes should look to explore if you're going to move Brett Pesce, which they need to do.
Necas?
Yes.
Now, you don't think that is? See, I look at it like Pesce, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you moving Necas just to get rid of Pesce?
No.
Okay. I mean,
because you have to make the numbers work in terms of salary cap and things along those lines. But you're not going to give up a top forward and not get something up front either.
Okay. I'll raise the same. I don't want to say criticism, but when we were talking about with Adam Gold moving Pesce, his number one thing was you have to immediately it has to be better this year.
Yes. You
think Eriksson Ek makes them that much better this year that it's not just Pesce who's leaving, but it's Pesce and Necas?
Yes. I do. And here's I'll explain why. Because they still need, in my opinion, depth down the middle of the ice.
I think that's absolutely where they should be shopping is
right now,
the center, yeah.
Right now, Jesperi Kotkaniemi is your number 2 center with Sebastian Aho as your top guy. Third center right now would be Jordan Staal. And then, all right, who's your fourth line center right now? Is it Jack Drury? You're not entirely sure about that quite yet. I think that's actually a question mark going into the season that we're not entirely sure of. You can solidify the center ice position for the next 4 years because that's how long Jordan Staal's contract is. And you have Jesperi Kotkaniemi as well as Sebastian Aho locked up with long-term deals. You bring in a guy that has a long-term contract in Eriksson Ek who has a no-trade clause that kicks in next season. Okay,
so
he has a no trade, so you can get him now. Whereas opposed to down the line, you're not. It's going to be a lot harder to do because he can potentially nix that trade. So yes, you make that move. But here's the thing about this season coming up: Aho with Mike Bunting, Seth Jarvis, second line with Eriksson Ek, Andrei Svechnikov, Teuvo Teravainen. Because the way things are right now,
does sound good. When you put it like that, it does sound.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right now. If you have Jesperi Kotkaniemi up there as your second-line center and you have Martin Necas, well, someone's got to move down the lineup. Are you moving Teravainen down the lineup? You're going to pay him almost $6 million to move him down as a fourth-line guy? You're not going to pay that guy that much to move down. This is why the trade chip really is Martin Necas, because he's a restricted free agent after this season. Plus, he doesn't cost a whole lot right now. He's only $3 million, and he's still relatively young. But I don't see, when I watch him play, I don't see a guy that gets it done in the playoffs. This is a guy that needs a lot of space and a lot of movement, or a lot of space to skate with speed in order to create a lot of offense. That's what he needs. And we all know in the playoffs, that space gets real tight real fast. I just don't think that he's built for playoff hockey in Carolina. That's the reason why. But I know a lot of teams out there are going to look and say, you know what? That guy's going to put up 70 points for us during the regular season. I'll take that. But you know what? I don't think he fits way. This is my opinion. Long-term with Carolina as a playoff player, the way that Rob Brindamore wants to play, I just don't see it.
The thing I'll give you that I didn't realize was the contract situation of Eriksson Ek.
Yeah.
Because I think Necas and Eriksson Ek, especially in production, are kind of similar when you look at their regular season stuff. But locking him up for, like, I mean, right now.
He has 6 years left, including this year.
Yeah, right now, what the challenge for the Canes is, it feels like you want to go all in for next year, and they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can have a 5-year window if you play it right. Right?
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be you go all in for next year and then the year after is a crumbling piece of decaying former contender. Right? It can be a 5-year window. So if you can get Eriksson Ek for 5-6 more years and make another decision when he's 31, 32, whatever that ends up being, I don't hate it. So there you go. That's how Dennis spent the time where I was in the penalty box, and we'll bring that back occasionally because Dennis has some opinions that need to get out there,
and I got him out there.
And that one was out there. Shorthanded goal, maybe. I like to think we're on the same team.
Your PK wasn't very strong there. Just wanna let you know.
I earned my trip to the box though.
You did.
Took him, got my money's worth.